Hi there, my name is Joaquin Elizondo and I'm a film and television editor. Some of my scripted TV credits include Narcos Mexico, The Hot Zone Anthrax, and Dark Winds, as well as the feature film Soundwave. I'm also the founder of HollywoodEditingMentor.com, which is a mentoring program that strives to help aspiring and seasoned editors with achieving their career goals. And I'm very excited to be partnering up with Pro Sound Effects today to bring you this video where I'll be talking about the 5 top audio fails for video editors and how to fix them. You know, as video editors, we're often left to do our own sound design, and if it's not gonna end up necessarily on broadcast TV or in theaters, it's gonna be at least used for reference for the sound design team. So it's very important to, as a video editor, to understand sound design and how it works and how it can elevate your story. You know, as they say it, 50% of the movie going experience is sound, and that includes sound effects, music, dialogue. So as video editors, it's important to understand how sound design works. We'll be using Adobe Premiere Pro today, so let's jump on in. I have a short film here titled Overtime, which is brought to us by our good friends over at Edit Stock. And Overtime is about a guy who's gets asked to work overtime to stay late, but he has just one little secret. The guy's a werewolf, so he can't stay out too late, right? And then if he does, obviously crazy things will start to happen. And so that's what Overtime is about. So here, I'll just play a little section, kind of what we're going to be using today in our video. So check it out here, a small section from the short film Overtime.
Simon.
Ralph.
So there you go, guys. Overtime. I kind of wanted to keep watching there, but we'll do this video first, and then we'll jump back into the film. So let's start it off with our first audio fail for video editors, and that is not having organized sound effect folders in our project. So we'll jump right back into Adobe Premiere Pro here. We're looking at the project window, and as you can see, I have bins for kind of like my main categories that I'll be working with here. Like for example, here I have my sequences bin, dailies, score, and then of course sound effects here, number 6. If I open this up, you'll see that I have individual bins for different sound effect categories, right? So for example, like animals. And so by having kind of organizing it this way, by having categories, bins for different categories of sound effects, it's clean, and you can just right away jump into whatever folder you need to. So the second audio fail has to do with not setting the proper audio levels on your sound effects. And so I guess we're talking about mixing now. And so what sometimes tends to happen is that video editors will sometimes just crank up the sound effect too loud, right? And they overpower maybe the dialogue, or simply having that specific sound effect too loud in the mix is not the right level for that specific environment. So if we jump back into our film here, Overtime, using Adobe Premiere Pro, I'm just gonna play you this bit right after the title card.
Simon, I really have to get home.
Sorry, pal. Tax department. Pack of dogs they are.
But, no worries, Simon.
So, well, I mean, it doesn't sound too terrible, right? I mean, like it is an office, but you got to remember, we're now close to the end of the day, so there's not a lot of people there, right? So at the moment, we're just hearing it's way too busy, right? We just feel like it's like kind of like the middle of the day when in fact we're finishing the day off here. So it's not to say that you can't necessarily have this specific file. It's a pretty busy file, but sometimes it's okay. I mean, as long as we just kind of bring it down and have it, set it low in the mix, we'll communicate our idea, or just it'll fit their environment a lot better. So if we jump into our audio panel here, we just want to jump into our individual clip mixer, and we're dealing here with this file, track 15. So we just want to bring that down a bit, right? I mean, it's just kind of to taste. I mean, you can kind of do it in real time, see what works.
Simon, I really have to get home.
Sorry, pal. Tax department. Pack of dogs they are.
But, no worries, Simon.
So, it's still there. You feel you're still in an office, right? But it's just not overpowering the mix. Moving on to the third audio fail, and that is wasting time looking for sound effects. As video editors, sometimes we, go on YouTube to find certain sound effects, or we start looking in our messy, personal libraries, and we can just waste time looking for certain sounds, right? And so that again, can prevent us from meeting our deadlines, or prevent us from staying creative, right? Stay in that kind of creative flow, because we're bogged down by just looking for certain sound effect files, right? So I want to introduce to you SoundQ, which is a desktop app created by Pro Sound Effects. There's a free tier where you can get in-app access to freesound.org, which makes it super easy to search for free sounds and send right to your timeline. You can also subscribe to get access to the SoundQ cloud library with award-winning quality sounds. Check the link in the description for more info. And I gotta say, SoundQ is amazing. I'm one of those people that spends hours on YouTube trying to find that perfect sound effect, and it just it just bogs me down. I don't stay creative, and maybe it can get frustrated. And you know what? It's just I don't want to maybe keep working anymore for that day or whatever. And so this app, SoundQ, alleviates all that, because I can just jump on in here and search for anything that I want. So for example, right now we're dealing with office and environment. So let's just put in office. And we just have a bunch of things that come up. These are free, right? These are from freesound.org. We're searching that database. But of course, if we turn on, then we want to search then the Pro Sound Effects library, we can do that. And there's even more great sounding sound effects, right? I mean, it just keeps on going on and on. You can preview that file right in the SoundQ app. Anything, right? Let's see. Let's search for something else. Let's search for, let's see, wolf. Because we're dealing with a werewolf here, This makes it really easy to not only find, but to audition sound effects. And that way I only bring in what I really need. And so that's another part of this app, is how you bring in the sound effects. It's super easy. You can actually, if you want, just place them directly from the SoundQ app to your timeline in Premiere. Yeah, it's awesome. So for example, we want this file here, Office Ambience, a call center. Just play it. That sounds good. All right, so down here we have a couple options. It says send to, and we can pick Adobe Premiere. Obviously there are other options like Pro Tools, but we're working with Premiere. We can pick that, and It has a bunch of options here for you to try out, but this will send it directly to your Adobe Premiere timeline. There it is. I also have the option to drag and drop, meaning that I can just allow me to grab the file and drag and drop it to anywhere inside either Premiere or my computer, or if I want to send it directly to a folder on my disk. So you have a bunch of different options of getting, say, a sound effect file from SoundQ to your computer and Adobe Premiere Pro. You know, it has a lot of other cool features. You can actually select a region that you want to import. You can set fades if you want. You can mess with the speed of the sound effect. So it's awesome. You can do all of that right inside SoundQ. So there you go. Don't waste any more time looking for sound effects on YouTube or messy personal libraries. Just use SoundQ. It is awesome. I can't recommend it enough. Give SoundQ a try. Check for links in the description. Audio fail number 4 is not adding audio dissolves to your sound effects. Sometimes when we're cutting in sound effects, we're in a groove, right? We're just cutting them in and we forget to put audio dissolves, say at every cut point. And what that can lead to is then hearing audio pops. You can actually hear where those cuts are now, and they can be distracting, it's jarring, and it might then seem to someone that's watching down your cut, say you're working with a director or a producer, it might make them think that it's a mistake, right? And so it's not smooth, and then you're just taken out of the experience. You're taken out of the moment of watching down a cut, and you think you have a bunch of mistakes. So I'm gonna play for you now here another section of overtime, and you'll hear kind of as we get into these flashes, and you'll hear some like whooshes. You'll hear the pops, and then also when we get into more of the production sound, you'll hear it as well. So check it out. So, you heard there, just like I said, you can actually hear the cuts happening. It might seem at the moment you think it's insignificant, but trust me, when you're sitting there with a producer or, like I said, a director, they can easily be taken out of the moment and say something's not working, right? And you can just simply alleviate that by, applying audio dissolves at the cut points to your sound effects and also to your dialogue tracks and your production sound. So here's the same sequence. Now I'm gonna as you can see, I've applied audio dissolves to those sound effects, to the production sound, and as you'll hear, it's much smoother. Yeah, it's way better. Like I said, it just you won't think that there's maybe sometimes like a cut is not working, something's not working, because you hear you're distracted by those kind of audio pops, the audio crackle, and so this is a good way to fix that. And it's good to get in the habit of, as you are putting in sound effects, to just be adding those audio dissolves as you go, so then that you don't have to go back then after you've done, say, maybe a whole entire film or an act, say, for example, of a TV show, and then have to go back and then start putting in audio dissolves. It's just kind of good to get in the habit of applying them as you are placing sound effects. And now our last fail number 5 on our list of top 5 audio fails for video editors, and that is not giving enough head or tail frames to our sound effect files. Let me show you what I mean by that. Back here on Adobe Premiere Pro, I'll click on this Office Ambiance file, and when I say head, it means at the start of the clip, right? And the tail would be at the end of the clip. And so what tends to happen is that when we are looking or clicking through our files, just kind of quickly auditioning them, what we do is we'll listen to it for a couple seconds. We'll decide, okay, yeah, sure, this one works. And out of habit, we just put the playhead at the beginning of the clip, at the head of the clip. Usually then we'll just, hit our endpoint and whatever. We'll bring it into our timeline, right? So now let's say, for example, this shot. I want to open that up. I want to open the head of that clip. So what I would do is I would just ripple this back, open this up, for example. Let's say right there, right? But what I want though is also then the audio file, the sound effect down here that is highlighted, to roll with it, right? Because that's also part of the still need to fill in that gap. So then what I would do is I would select both the video clip and the audio clip because I want to roll those back. I want to open them up, add more head frames to the head of those clips. But I can't do it now. If I try to go back, I can't roll it out because this file, the sound effect file that I cut in, does not have any more frames at the head of the clip. It starts right there where my playhead is at. And so there's nothing to roll out, right? And so what I would need to do is go back to my clip here. Maybe get a couple frames, a second or two, if you can, and then, start it there. Now we're gonna, select that, bring that in.
Simon, I really have to get home.
Yeah, sorry, pal.
And then now I could actually cut that back. And now they roll out together because now there are frames at the head of that clip, right? So you can see that now that sound effect of the office ambience, it has rolled back with the video clip together. So why is this important? Well, what tends to happen then is if we're constantly doing this, we're not giving, say, for example, enough head or tail frames, and we, for example, roll out a video clip, then we have to then fix that, right? We have to then move then the clip, the audio clip back. So we're gonna just undo here. So for example, now there are no head frames on this audio clip. I'm gonna roll back the video clip, and now what I would have to do is then take my audio file, move it, but then that's gonna affect then the tail of the clip because since I moved it, I didn't roll it out. I just moved it. Now I have to extend this on the back, right? Now, sure, it didn't take me a long time, but it took me time. And that's the thing. When we're trying to deliver, the shows, whatever, or commercials and meet deadlines, every second counts. And also, by having to go back and making these little fixes, again, it takes us out of our creative flow. It interrupts our work, and it just bogs us down. And so by doing this, by adding either head frames or tail frames, having that space, that room at the beginning or at the end of our audio clips allows us to then make adjustments easily, and we're not bogged down by fixing things. So there you go, guys, the top 5 audio fails for video editors and how to fix them. Some tips there for you to improve your productivity so you can stay also creative and improve your sound design game when you're cutting either your feature film, your TV show, documentary, promo commercial, whatever it is. Sound design is a very important part of the editorial process, and so hope that these tips will help you the next time you are adding sound effects to your project. So my name is Joaquin Elizondo. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and leave us a comment to let us know your thoughts and what topics you'd like pro sound effects to cover next.